In light of the RFK news and the endorsement on Friday, which, we talked about a lot last week, the build up to that endorsement, we have more, even our own colleagues here, who are going to officially endorse President Trump. And today it's our colleague, Tulsi Gabbard.
That's right. An intriguing headline to me, because you can tell that the headline writers over at CNN haven't watched any interview she's done on Fox, really been on this show, or any of the media that Tulsi has put out over really the last 6 months since she wrote her book, even For the Love of Country, Leave the Democrat Party Behind. But the headline is Tulsi Gabbard expected to endorse Trump today at Detroit event. I think maybe she'll use the words official, like I endorse Donald Trump for president, but everything she's been saying has even said, like, I am going to do everything I can to work to get him reelected in her private interviews that she does on Fox and things of that nature. But this one isn't as surprising. What will be surprising is to see if others follow suit. And RFK hinted at that over the weekend. Yes. That there would be more Democrats to follow. So it sets up an interesting time for the Democrats as they just came off their what they thought was a huge victorious DNC, where they made it look like they are inevitable at winning in this election cycle.
Everybody loves Harris.
Exactly. They completely changed history of what they've done for the last 3.5 years. And then on Friday, they had an announcement by RFK Jr., which completely wiped them off.
Too, it was a turning point event, and there was there was explosions happening.
There was pyro. They walked out to the Foo Fighters, There Goes My Hero, when he joined Trump on stage.
And what they're calling this is a unity kind of ticket? Not ticket.
Unity government is the term that they're using.
Right, because the ticket is still Trump advance, which is still very Republican, but there's going to be a unity government of advisors. And I think today, making Tulsi officially part of the team is probably what's happening. She was already very much, supporting President Trump's at least re-election for this cycle, on our show. And I guess now making it official. But RFK Jr., and this is what's interesting, and I'll take your calls on it too, 1-800-684-3110, because he says he's got more. And it's not just Tulsi. It's not just him. Take a listen.
President Trump is going to make a series of announcements about other Democrats who are joining his campaign, and I want to make America healthy again, and so does President Trump.
He's kind of seized on that. Will is
MAGA, make America healthy again.
Yeah, but he also defended MAGA. In a Twitter post, RFK Jr. wrote what MAGA really means. He says, the phrase has troubled liberals who think it is a call to return to an America before civil rights or gay rights or women's rights. But I have a more generous interpretation, one that's truer to my experience of Donald Trump as he is today. Make America Great Again recalls a nation brimming with vitality, with a can-do spirit, a hope, and a belief in itself. It was an America that was beginning to confront its darker shadows, could acknowledge the injustice in its past and present, yet at the same time could celebrate its successes. It was a nation of broad prosperity, the world's most vibrant middle class, and an idealistic belief, though not consistently applied, in freedom, justice, and democracy. It was a nation that led the world in innovation, productivity, and technology. It was the healthiest country in the world. I've talked to many Trump supporters. I've talked with his inner circle. I've talked to the man himself. This is the America they want to restore. And I think eloquently, Will, this is finally an explanation of MAGA that many of us have been like, this is what Make America Great Again is about. It's not about taking us back to 1955. That's not making America great again. It's about moving forward and people being successful and not being afraid to confront the wrongs of the past. Of course not. But not just blaming America for those wrongs. Getting past the wrongs.
That's right. And as you said, that was eloquently put by RFK Jr. in that post. And it's what I do feel that President Trump himself, because of the attacks against him and really his speaking style, is not a way that he could voice that himself in those type of terms that would feel genuine from him.
Yeah, if he said that, it would come across that way.
And I feel like that's why RFK Jr. will be a powerful surrogate in this race, because he's able to say things like that and be eloquent in a way that President Trump is more in your face, a little bit more brash in his duke it out fighting style, that it helps because people read that and it resonates with them. Oh, that is what I want for the country. I do want to make America great in a way that is in line with what he's saying in that post.
And what I want to know, and I think we will start to see if there's Tulsi and then you've got RFK Jr. is, how much will these people be out officially for the campaign?
Right.
Sounds like they're going to do plenty of media, and that's wonderful. But how much will they officially be doing campaign events, getting voters out to actually cast votes for Donald Trump in the 10 or less states that are going to determine the outcome of this election? Because that's where I think their time is really most valuable. I mean, it's great to have RFK, make the big splash in Arizona. It's great to have Tulsi do the big splash in Detroit. But ultimately what you want is them actually on the campaign trail and kind of speaking to their constituency, which is a constituency that I think is okay with President Trump, but certainly is more excited with President Trump if someone like Tulsi or RFK is kind of pulling them across the final few yards to actually cast the vote. Are there any Democrats that come to mind for you? Do you think it's going to be Democrats that we really know of, or do you think it's going to be kind of unnamed Democrats that start coming on to the Trump team because they will be following RFK or they'll be following Tulsi?
Yeah, off the top of my head, maybe someone like Dennis Kucinich, who was a prominent Democrat, ran for president, but has kind of, now he's older, but more libertarian. I'm not certain other than that who comes to mind, which could make it more surprising if there is a series of these, as RFK Jr. has inferred in that interview on Fox News Sunday.
Yeah, we'll see. That could be that's going to be, not all of those are necessarily elected officials, that you could be a prominent Democrat donor. It's always better to get people's votes because Harris and Walz will get votes. But, I mean, Will, if people are saying, I'll either vote for Trump because of the RFK endorsement or I'm not going to get involved at all, I mean, you are taking Harris votes off the table.
That's right. And when you look at that kind of 5% that he'd been polling at, and sometimes even a few percentage points higher in swing states, if people are going to actively still go vote for President Trump, that's a net positive. But then it's also a net positive if they stay home, because that means they probably were leaning towards a Harris vote as opposed to a Trump vote. But if they're just disenfranchised or they feel disengaged from the process now, then that does show that there's a double benefit to this endorsement in this way for President Trump that when RFK Jr. has dropped out.